Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we will be talking about self-care. Now self-care is very important at any stage of your life, but when you become a mum it is even more important. That is why I am working with Philips Avent with their virtual mummy mentors. Now this is a group of mums that will be sharing their real life experiences of becoming a parent and some sort of tips and tricks and things that have helped them along the way, and hopefully they'll be able to help you. Now these are real life experiences, so some of them you might be able to relate to, others you might be able to sort of take and turn into what you think might be useful for yourself. So just a little disclaimer before you watch the rest of the video. This will be talking about birth and becoming a new mum, so there will be words in there that are associated with that. So if you're old enough to be a mum, then you're old enough to hear those types of words. If you're not, then swipe away now. Okay, so yes, so we are going to be talking about becoming a new parent, a new mum, a new dad, whatever form that might be. And I think that is the whole purpose of Philips Avent's new virtual mummy mentors, is that everybody has a different experience when it comes to parenthood. However, we can take different things from each person's experience and mold that into trying to help ourselves and help our experiences in life, because as you all know, everybody is an individual and we have our own experiences. Even if you do the same things in life, you might not necessarily experience them in the same way. So this is all about just sharing and trying to help other people in just that real life sort of normal, you always use that word, but what is actually normal? Just real life mums and dads. When you do become a new parent, your world gets turned upside down. I've said this a lot, but I don't think that when you're younger and you get told about becoming a parent, you get told the sort of reality of parenting. And that's what I sort of talk about a lot, is this reality of parenting, and that it's not all bad and that it's not all amazing all the time neither. It's something in the middle. It's the best thing in the world, like absolutely the best thing in the world. But then also you can feel really rubbish at times and you know, you want to cry, you might be angry, you might feel anxious, and knowing that you're not the only one is sometimes even just that little bit helpful in knowing that you're not on your own and there's not something wrong with you, that's a perfectly normal experience. When you do come home with the baby, there's no instruction book, nobody tells you what to do. You go into hospital, people tell you about labour and everything that you sort of will experience in hospital, and then you sort of given your baby and bye, off you go. And unless you read up about it, look on YouTube, talk to friends who've had who've had babies, talk to your parents, you wouldn't necessarily know what the real life thing is about being a parent. I think there's lots of things out there that will tell you you have to do this, you have to feed them a certain amount of milk every day, you have to change their nappy X amount of times, you have to sleep when the baby sleeps. There's lots of like instruction in that way, but not every baby is the same, not every parent is the same, and it's a world of discovery. You have to find out what works for you, but within like a safety net almost. So you need to feel secure in knowing you're doing the right thing, because it's okay thinking you might be doing the right thing, but actually there might be something that helps a little bit better or makes you feel a bit more comfortable. And in reality, what you need is good support, no judgment, and love. And I think that those three things go a long way when you first become a parent. So talking about self-care, now the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about having a baby, brand new baby, is the physical side of it. So you've just had, whether you've given birth vaginally or whether you've given birth via C-section, you are going through some massive physical changes, and you need to give your body that time to adjust, to recover, to get used to whatever's going on in there. I mean, I don't know what's going on in there, but it's painful. So you need to take care of that physical side, and do that by take paracetamol if it's really, really painful. Make sure that you're taking baths. Salt baths are amazing. If you do have any tears or cuts in the vaginal area, then tea tree oil is amazing. A few drops in there, maybe I think it's like 8 to 10 drops or something, that you can put in your bath, a nice warm bath that kind of soothes the area. Also your boobs, your breasts, they might be enlarged. Making sure that you've got breast pads. You can cool these down if you want to keep them in the fridge. Keep them in the fridge. A lot of people that I know swear by cabbage leaves, so if you've got quite engorged breasts, putting cabbage leaves on them. I never did that. I would just express, and yeah, keep breast pads in the fridge. That's another good little tip there, to keep them cool, so when they're on, that it gives that little bit of relief at first. Now, another part which is so important when you first become a parent is that emotional side of becoming a parent. So my background is in psychology, so is my husband's. We talk a lot. My mum and dad have always encouraged me and my younger brother to sort of express how we feel, even if that's one of those non-desirable emotions that sort of the more British way of being around, you know, don't show you're sad, you know, put on a brave face and get on with it. And actually, that's not helpful. We know from research that's not helpful, and you know from experience that sometimes that's not helpful. Expressing your emotions in a way that's beneficial and helpful for you can help you sort of keep yourself together a little bit in those moments of crisis, in those tired, exhausted times. Being able to express how you feel, I think is so important. And that's really important with your partner. So whoever you're with, whoever you share your sort of life with, your home with, have that conversation around, actually it's going to be quite difficult when this baby comes, because it's going to be a whole different world, it's going to be a whole different life we're living, and we need to make sure that we keep the lines of communication open. We need to keep talking, even if sometimes it might be a little bit heated or you might be saying things that are just coming out and you just have to just let them out, because actually sometimes just getting them out there makes them feel a lot less serious than they might feel. So almost having that conversation with your partner around being able to freely express how you're feeling in that moment. Now I know not everybody's partner will be able to do that and be able to sort of take a step back and let them sort of vent and let them get it out there. So if that's the case, then get yourself a diary and write a journal, write exactly how you feel. You know, day 2, I'm feeling quite upbeat today, but actually the pain's getting me a bit down and he's doing my absolute head in because he's not offered to make me a cup of tea yet. Like, that's okay. That's okay to feel that way about your partner, or, you know, somebody you live with, even your mum, if your mum is helping you out, or your dad. That's perfectly fine to feel that way. And holding it in sometimes can sort of build up resentment, so trying to get that out in a useful way is sometimes helpful. But also, I just wanted to say that actually feeling emotional is perfectly normal. Like, it's what you have been through and what your partner's been through. It's a massive, massive change. So for you to imagine just coming out and be just like, oh, I'm just exactly the same as before, that's not going to happen, because you have changed. You've given birth to somebody, you might have adopted a child, it might be the partner of somebody who's given birth, and that has changed you. Every experience in life sort of takes a bit of you away, and sometimes I think that it can be in a negative way, but actually I think every experience in life gives you something and can take something away from you. So knowing that, and knowing that actually you just this is an experience and you're learning every single day how to be, is normal. You probably will feel sad, you will feel happy, you will feel elated, you might feel confused, you might feel stressed, you might feel really sad and just want to cry for a day, but sometimes that's okay. If it is getting too much and you feel like you do need extra support other than your family, talk to your GP. That's what they're there for. Your health visitor should be doing checkups with you, but talk to somebody, tell someone how you feel. It's always better once you get it out, trust me. Get it out there, talk about it, talk to somebody who you can trust. Now, when we talk about self-care, people tend to think that it's like going to a spa day or going for a massage, treating yourself to a pamper in whatever way. And I think that's quite confusing, especially if you're a bloke. Like, if you're a man, you might not want to go on a spa day. You might not want to paint your nails. I mean, you might do, but you might not. So what is self-care then? Self-care is something very personal to you. So for me, personally, self-care is about taking those moments out in the day to be mindful, to be grateful, try and have gratitude around what I've got in my life. But also it is about those sort of more spa-y things as well. So taking a bath, painting my nails, doing my makeup, doing my hair. Even things like ironing can be quite therapeutic if you enjoy ironing, that is. Things like this, flowers. I love flowers. I get them delivered once a month. I've got like this subscription thing where they get posted through the door every month, and I love it. It's like a little surprise. I never know when they're coming, they're just there. And it's like, I write the cards as if it's from the kids. So it says like, to mummy, we love you loads and loads. And even though I've done that, it makes me feel all warm inside because I know the kids love me, but they can't do that. So I do that for them, and that makes me really happy. So 5 minutes to yourself every day. Try and set that as a little goal every day. Okay, today I'm going to have 5 minutes of mindfulness, praying, silence, listening to something, listening to my favourite song. I'm going to have 5 minutes sat in the garden, even if it's freezing cold, with my coat on. Obviously make sure that the baby's being taken care of. Have 5 minutes to just get away and get out of that chaos a little bit. But I think the most important thing with self-care is knowing what your self-care is. So if your self-care is going and lying in bed, having 5 minutes in silence to clear your head, try and organise, that's you. If your 5 minutes is to get the book out, the journal out, write everything down, then do that. If your 5 minutes is to go and sit in the garden, go for a walk, do that. Try and figure out what makes you feel better after you've done it. Even if the thought of it sometimes is a little bit overwhelming. So if you know that when you go for a walk you feel better, but actually the thought of going out is quite intimidating or scary or whatever, because you might have to get the baby ready, put the pram up, it might be pouring down outside, you might not just feel up to it, but you know you'll feel better, just try and do that. And the biggest message that I want to say to all of you new or old parents or people who are just feeling overwhelmed at the moment is that self-care is not selfish. It is not selfish, it is important. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You need to make sure that you are filled with whatever makes you happy, and taking care of yourself is such an important part of being human, really. So do that in whatever way that you feel comfortable in. Know that you are worthy, you are amazing, and you are completely and utterly enough as you are. And that asking for help isn't weakness. It's not weakness. Now, obviously, before you try and implement any self-care, you need to have sort of your basic needs met. So they are around being fed and watered. I know it might sound really bizarre, But if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling gripey, if you're feeling bleh, go and drink some water, because the likelihood is that you're dehydrated. I am terrible for drinking water. I say now, but actually I've got a lot better. I've got this big jug of, it's like a 2.5 litre bottle. It's like a big keg. And I fill that up in the morning. I sort of leave it around the house. I'll take it out with me and I drink it throughout the day. And every day I drink that 2 litres and it makes me feel so much better. Especially if you are breastfeeding, you need to make sure that you're drinking enough water. Eating is so important when you're a new parent. Now, I would say if you're a newborn baby or you're pregnant, then the best advice I can give you is to prepare some meals and freeze them beforehand. If you've got a microwave, then you can get microwave meals. Get nutritious ones, not just like rubbish ones. Something that's quite nourishing and filling and that's gonna last you a few hours. Also things like bananas and apples and snack bars and stuff, they're ace. And I thought when my baby was brand new, I would leave them about the house and I would have like a little table set up at the side of the couch, which always had a glass of water on and a snack there and my phone and the remotes, so that when I sat down to breastfeed her, I sort of had everything there ready, because sometimes it was like half an hour that she would be breastfeeding for and I'd be like stuck there. Another important thing is to make sure that you listen to yourself. Like I was saying before, around knowing yourself and what works and what self-care works for you. People will say sleep when the baby sleeps. That sometimes works for me, and I sometimes know that I need a nap and that I need sleep, but actually other times when I do it I feel worse when I get up and I just feel all groggy, I can't function properly. And especially now that I've got 2, if I have a nap in the afternoon with, or if I used to have a nap in the afternoon with the little one, to then get up and do the school run, it just made me feel like, ugh. I would rather get the baby to sleep and then go and sit down, have a cup of tea, have some biscuits and sort out the rest of my day, maybe tidy up a bit, and that made me feel a lot better. But sometimes the struggle is real. It is hard work, and I don't think that we often talk about how hard work it is, because it's often seen as if we're ungrateful, or that we don't appreciate the children, or that, well, this is what we wanted in the first place. You wanted to be a mother, so why are you so, I don't know, upset or annoyed or stressed about it? And that's such a judgmental way of being, and I don't think that is appropriate at all. I think it is hard work, and no matter what you do, you will find a struggle, you will find an area of parenthood harder than another area, and you've got to play to your strengths a little bit. So some people are crafty mums, like they'll do lots of crafts, they'll do lots of painting, they'll do lots of setup. Other mums aren't. Other mums go to play groups a lot. Other mums won't. It doesn't mean that you're any less of a mum or any less of a dad if you do either or. Just do you. But definitely do connect with other people, if that's in real life or an online life. And if you do use places like Instagram, I feel like that's a wonderful place to sort of be and to build your sort of community of online friends. But make sure that you're following people who make you feel good, who don't make you feel like you're being judged or that you're doing something wrong. If you do, unfollow them. It doesn't matter. Use it like a newspaper. It's your daily news. You might go for people who have nice home accounts, people who make you laugh, people who give you a bit of a dose of reality, of like parenting, me. Some people who tell you the news. So just follow whoever you want. And in real life as well, if there's people around you who make you feel rubbish, don't talk to them. Talk to the people who make you feel good and add value to your life. And the last thing I'm going to say on self-care and implementing self-care today is, if you are brand new to self-care, or you're struggling, or you just feel like you're quite overwhelmed with where to start, how am I going to look after myself, where am I going to fit this into my day when I've got a new baby, or I've got 3 kids, or I've got this job to do, where do I fit that in? I would say, if you're that person, go with 5 things, okay? So in the morning, set yourself 5 things that you're going to do that day. Now this can be anything from Today I'm going to have a shower. Today I'm going to brush my hair, brush my teeth. Today I am going to meditate for 10 minutes. Today I'm going to eat a nourishing meal. Today I am going to walk to pick the kids up. Today I'm going to connect with my partner other than talking about the baby. Try and figure out what your 5 things are, and when you are a new parent, those 5 things, they don't need to be big things. So it might be, I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm going to brush my hair, I'm going to make my bed, I am going to have a nice lunch, and I am going to wash the pots. There are 5 things off the top of my head that sort of I do every day that sort of have to be done. Making the bed is one of those things that actually I don't do straight away, and lots of mums who I talk to, they make the bed as soon as they get out of it, and it makes them feel like they've sort of achieved something. That's the bed put away, and then they've got on with the day. So little things like that you can try. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It is a world of overwhelm when you become a new parent, but it is the most amazing thing, even if sometimes it can be a bit stressful. Now, I do other videos on self-care, so please do subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks to Philips Avent for sponsoring this video. See you in the next video.